Following the apparent suicide of her husband James, Harper Marlowe decides to spend a holiday alone in the village of Cotson, Hertfordshire. Flashbacks reveal that Harper, tired of James's emotional abuse and manipulation, intended to divorce him, leading James to threaten her with his suicide. After James punched Harper in the face, he immediately attempted to apologize, but Harper angrily locked him out of the flat. She then witnessed him fall from an upstairs balcony to his death, being partially impaled by a fence. Upon arriving at the country house she is renting, Harper eats the forbidden fruit. Then she is greeted by its eccentric but well-meaning owner, Jeffrey, who gives her a tour of the house. Harper later goes for a walk in the nearby woods and comes across a disused railway tunnel. At the other end, a human figure begins screaming and running towards her. Frightened, Harper runs back through the forest until she reaches an open field. She turns back to photograph the landscape on her phone and notices a naked man standing in the distance while eerily watching her. The next day, during a video call with her friend Riley, Harper spots the same naked man in the front garden, his face covered with bloody scratches, further disturbing her. Realizing that the front door is slightly open, Harper quickly shuts and locks it, but the naked man sticks his hand through the letterbox. Harper calls the police and the man is arrested, with one of the arresting officers resembling Jeffrey. Harper visits a church, where images of the Green Man and Sheila Nagig are carved on a font. Outside, she meets a young boy and a vicar who both bear a likeness to Jeffrey. After the boy leaves, Harper discusses James's death with the vicar, who suggests that she is partially responsible for James's death because she did not allow him to apologize. An enraged Harper leaves and later goes to a local pub, where she meets Jeffrey again. The few patrons and the bartender all bear Jeffrey's appearance. His policeman look-alike arrives shortly afterwards, informing Harper that the naked man has been released in the absence of any legal ground to keep him detained, to her chagrin. Distressed by the recent events, Harper contacts Riley, who offers to drive to the village in the morning to accompany Harper for the rest of her holiday. As Harper attempts to text Riley the address, her mobile phone's service is repeatedly interrupted. She sees the policeman outside, but as the lights flicker, he disappears. One of the pub's patrons then appears and chases Harper, who retreats into the house. As she arms herself with a knife, a window breaks in the kitchen. Jeffrey arrives and finds that the window broke due to a crow, which he then euthanizes by breaking its neck. As Jeffrey goes into the garden, the lights flicker again and the naked man emerges, chasing Harper back into the house. When he reaches through the letterbox and grabs Harper's hand, she stabs him through the arm. He pulls his arm out, the stuck knife ripping his arm in an extreme injury resembling the one James sustained during his fall. Both the boy and the vicar appear inside the house in turn, each of them now similarly injured. When the vicar attempts to rape Harper, she stabs him in the stomach and escapes the house. While attempting to drive away, Harper accidentally runs over Jeffrey. He aggressively pulls Harper out of her car, takes control of it, and chases her before crashing into a stone wall. The naked man, now in full Green Man form, approaches Harper, his ankle now severely broken and matching another injury on James's corpse. The naked man gives birth to the young boy, who in turn gives birth to the vicar, then Jeffrey, and finally James, heavily mutilating their bodies. Both Harper and James sit on a sofa inside the house. When Harper asks him what he wants from her, James responds that he wants her love. Riley, who is pregnant, arrives at the house in the morning. She follows a blood trail and finds Harper, who smiles when she sees her.